Even though this is an absolutely fantastic figure, there are some things that you definitely need to be careful of so that you don't potentially break it or anything. This is UPF or LPZZ's Arkham Knight from Batman Arkham Knight. Here's a 1/12 action figure with excellent sculpting, details, and playability in terms of articulation and accessories. So in this video we'll be doing a full unboxing, showcase, and review. This is what the box looks like. At the top, Batman Arkham Knight, 1/12 collectible figure, and some warnings at the bottom. It is magnetized on the sides. There's a little backdrop that you can use. A little overlay here looking pretty cool. And this is what's inside the box. Service card, or just reach out to wherever you bought it from. Instructions. And there are 2 trays. Weapons and stand stuff. Main figure and everything else. Of course, we'll take a look at the Red Hood swap later on as well. This is what the Arkham Knight looks like. Starting off with the head, you can see some fine details and paint on the helmet there. Depending on how the light hits, his eyes can look like they glow a little bit. Other helmet details all around there, looking very nice. This is a floating piece to help hide gaps and stuff. Collar is also a floating piece there, and you can actually pull it out. Body details, very nice. There's some weathering and stuff, and overall is just very well done. There's kind of a nice contrast between the armored parts and all the leathery straps and stuff like that as well. And I think partially due to the design, everything just really works together. Arms and gloves, looking very nice. He's got some little packs and stuff on him as well, also very well done. These are on a little soft plastic piece, so be careful of that, although I haven't really had any issues, and I've even taken them outside, so wouldn't worry too much. Some straps here, some more packs and things. Going down to the legs, pretty much the same deal as the upper body, so all looking very nice. Feet also nicely done, and there are some details on these soles as well, with a little DC copyright there. So the Arkham Knight is probably one of my favorite designs from Batman or DC. In saying that though, I don't actually know if he looks like what he's meant to in the game. So tell me, do you think he's accurate or not? For such a nice sculpt, let's see if articulation holds up. Head will turn to the sides and all the way around actually. So it is on 2 joints there, so the head will move independently and then the bottom of the neck will move as well. Once again, the collar is a floating piece, so he can do head tilts, not too bad. He can look all the way down, like so. Look all the way up. So upwards look is actually pretty good. Overall range, very nice so far. And also not too much gapping, honestly. Arms will raise up to the sides all the way, so just a little bit past horizontal. And the shoulder pads will move out of the way themselves most of the time, but just be mindful because they are on quite a small ball. And we'll take a look at that when we swap over to the Red Hood parts later on as well. Rotating arms up, like so, pretty good. So one thing I would like to mention, first of all, is do be careful of these 2 little parts here because they will also move. So going up like so, very nice. Sculpt is still overall looking good. When moving his arms, do be careful of these 2 parts at the front because you can actually push them in like so. So this side is pushed in, this side is normal. And it will allow for a little bit of extra range for the arms there. So his shoulders, they do pop out like so as well. So popping out, he's a bit of a wider boy, and it will of course give him a better forward reach. So he can actually reach forwards and kind of cross his arms like that. So it's in combination with kind of his bicep joint there. So good shoulders, good biceps from the back. So this part kind of extends and it doesn't look too bad, I think. If it was kind of plain, it would look a bit funny, but because there's a strap there, I think everything still looks quite good. Going backwards, also very good. So forwards and backwards, looks like that. And the shoulder joint will kind of move independently as well. So sometimes it can be rotated a little bit funny, so be careful of that as well. Bicep rotation there. And as we kind of saw before, I believe it is on a ball joint. So moves around like that. And also this part is a floating piece because we can swap that out. Double jointed elbows there, and this is how they bend. It was a little bit stiff out of the box, but after moving him a little bit, it's not too bad. So the elbow there is a little bit bulky, kind of looks funny, but most poses and depending on the angles and stuff, you're probably not going to notice it that much. So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. And then this part here, the gauntlet, will rotate as well. There is a floating piece at the wrist to hide the ball joint there, and it still allows for some good movement. His torso is cut into 3 sections, although you can't really notice it. This is how he bends forwards, so very good forward bend, pretty much 90 degrees. And you won't really notice any gapping there. Although be careful because it can get caught a little bit there. It's kind of gotten caught on the plastic there, which it is kind of a soft plastic, so be careful of that. Bending forwards doesn't really expose any gaps. Almost, just a little bit there. And then bending backwards, it all matches up quite nicely. So forwards, backwards, very nice. The whole sculpt kind of keeps its shape. Tilts all the way to the side there. That's what it looks like from the back and the sides. So even with your tilts, the sculpt maintains its form. Rotations, so there's some hip rotation there. It will rotate all the way around, although I don't see why you would do that. This part rotates a tiny bit, and then upper torso also a little bit. You can force it, although I don't see why you'd want to do that. And of course, don't leave it for too long because it is a soft piece. You might end up deforming it. Overall, torso movement is very, very good. For the legs, you do have a pull down feature. So pull down, look like that, very gappy, of course. Although you will be able to do some very nice high kicks. So that's kicking forwards. This is kind of going backwards, although his butt will get in the way there. And this strap here, you'll notice that it comes off, which isn't really too much of an issue. There is a hole that it plugs into there. So depending on what kind of angle and pose you'll have it at, it will just kind of come out on its own. I wouldn't really say it's an issue. It's probably more of a design choice. And then with legs popped down, he will split all the way to the side, like so. That's what it looks like from the bottom. So it is kind of textured there as well. Hopefully kind of minimizes any jarring gaps there. And then what else do we have? So this piece, it is kind of a soft plastic as well. And yeah, it's kind of connected to the thigh rotation, which is a little bit stiff here, but it works. And then double knees. It's also painted at the joint there, so that also will look good. So if you don't pull down the leg, he kicks up about that much. And then pulled down, although, let's see. It will kind of pull down on its own anyway. It's not loose or anything though, so yeah, wouldn't really worry about that. And then there's a little bit of rotation there. Feet go down, they will go up. And side to side is a little bit strange. Twisting inwards, it's a little bit limited, although he can twist outwards. Reason being is that this thing here is connected to his upper, like, shin. And then on this side, it's connected to the foot. So it's kind of like, I don't know why they did that, but it works, I guess. It doesn't feel brittle or anything, so I wouldn't really worry about it. Just don't twist his feet inside too much, like inwards too much. Outwards is completely fine. You can pivot his feet though. Looks like that. Going other way also works. And then he's got a toe joint. I would say Arkham Knight's articulation is pretty good, and it doesn't really break up his more realistic sculpt either. For accessories, Arkham Knight's stand and claw. He's got a good bunch of hands. By default, he's just got these relaxed hands, nicely detailed. He's got a pair of fisty hands, also nicely detailed. Kind of grabby type hands. Trigger finger hands, of course. They do hold on well. And a tapping the visor helmet thing type hand. Know what kind of weapons does he have? A good bunch actually. He's got one small pistol, nicely detailed but nothing moves here. He's got a pair of his bigger pistols, a little bit different from the small one. Sniper rifle, which is a combination of his two big pistols, right? And he's got this missile launcher thing. There is a hand which is just stuck on there, so you can't take that off. These things do open up there. And the reason that they do open up is because he does have a missile effect piece. And you can just plug it into any of the holes like so. For heads, he's got 3 head sculpts. He's got his default Arkham Knight head sculpt, which is very nicely detailed and painted. Although depending on how the light hits and stuff, it can sometimes be hard getting the details to look right on camera. But that's kind of only an issue if you do figure photography and videos and stuff. In person, it'll look fine. He's got a Jason Todd head sculpt, of course, which is also very well done. Details are pretty immaculate, I would say. Top of the helmet is, I believe, the same as the Arkham Knight one. To swap him out, just yank his head off. So this piece here is a floating piece, and in case you don't remember which way it goes in this way with that little thing at the top. So just like that. This collar piece, it does come out, so be careful not to drop it or anything. And you can simply just pop his head on. There we go. Articulation of the unmasked head is a little bit different, is it? I don't know. I think it's a little bit worse, is it? Yeah, probably just by a tiny bit looking up. It's a little bit limited, but tilts and rotations and all that will, of course, be the same. Just to note that when you pull out the, or rather when I pull out this head, the neck likes to follow it. So just pop it off like that and reinsert it. This is the red hood helmet, also very nicely detailed. With it on, looks like this. Now, of course, we have to do the red hood swap, and this is where you'll want to be very, very careful and take your time with it. Let's start with the easiest things first. I believe these should just slide right off, or rather pop right off. If you're ever not sure of what side it is, they will be marked, so no worries there. There we go, nice and easy. Other side. These things can be a little bit hard to pull off the first time, so if you feel as though anything is too tight or too tough, then do give it a bit of heat with either hot water or a hairdryer or something. Right side, plug these back on. The armor on the side here, I believe we can just pop off the arm. So it just comes off like that. Put this back on like so. I was actually holding the wrong side, but you should be able to just pop it back on. And I did remove the head to give myself a little extra room. Same deal, just pop it back on. Almost done. Now the shoulders and chest can be extra tricky, so do be extra careful here. What you're going to want to do is rotate the shoulder so that you have more room to work with, and then you can see the joint more clearly. Should be able to pull it off just like that. With a bit of force, it just kind of fell off. To put it back on, just align it, and then whatever feels comfortable, just push it back in. If you're having trouble getting it on, you could try to angle it like this and then push directly into the joint. There we go, now it's on properly. So let's try that again, rip it off. That came off quite easily this time. Angle it like so, and then push it back on. There we go. Okay, now the chest, which is the most troublesome part, apparently. So you flip open the little bits. So I accidentally already popped one off, but should look like that. So apparently a common issue is that these are not the same size. You can kind of see that the blue one is bigger. I don't know if it was made that way or because it's been on the joint for longer. If you force the red one on, it will get stress marks. So how do we deal with that? Well, honestly, I have no idea. Let's deal with this thing first, because should be easier. So just yank those off, and that is what the chest looks like underneath the armor. So this piece will just kind of move back and forth. And so what we're going to want to do is to clip the red one onto there without breaking it. Okay, so a few things that we can do. Of course, you can use some heat, hope for the best. What I'm going to try and do is to sand this part a little bit. So just at the front a little bit, and then at the sides a little bit as well. And hopefully the red one will fit better. And if I want to use the blue one again, then of course I can just add some display joint pen or something and thicken up the joint, if it is loose. So I'm not going to do it all on camera because I want to see how much I'm actually sanding. But just essentially sanding the top there, and then a bit on the sides as well. So I sanded it down a little bit already, but I'm pretty sure if I wedge that in there, it will still put stress marks on the red, so it might give some heat first. Well, unfortunately, even after some heat and sanding, there is still a bit of a stress mark there. You can kind of see it on the right side of the screen now. Anyway, let's put the chest piece back on. Should just pop in like that. So honestly, it's only really an issue if you want to swap them around a lot. For the other side, I'm going to try and sand it a little bit more. Still got a stress mark, unfortunately, on the right side as well, which is a bit strange. I thought it would be on the left side. Unfortunately, it seems the stress marks on the red clips are unavoidable, unless you really sand them down or are super lucky. Honestly, wouldn't stress about it too much though, unless you constantly swap them, which I would not recommend. Probably best to stick with one look or just swap them from time to time. Red Hood looks pretty cool as well, with all the armor parts matching the camo on his outfit. Otherwise, you kind of know what you're getting. And back shots. And here he is next to the Amazing Yamaguchi Red Hood, except I couldn't be bothered to swap out his arms. Here's a little comparison of the Revoltech and UPF Arkham Knights. Overall sculpt, details, and feel, I would go for UPF, but it also kind of depends on whether you like the Amazing Yamaguchi look. The Yamaguchi swap is a little bit easier, and there is the difference of the extra head sculpt. Let me know which one you prefer. UPF Arkham Knight is just about 17 centimeters or 6 3/4 of an inch. As Red Hood, he's a little bit under, and as Arkham Knight, he's a little bit over. Overall, despite some potential issues with his Red Hood swap, the figure is still excellent. The sculpt and details are nicely done, and articulation is great with minimal gapping. Joint tolerances are really good too, which I totally forgot to mention. But what do you think of the figure? Do let me know down below. If you'd like to grab this or UPF and INART kind of figures, I'll try to have some affiliate links down below. Always appreciate when you use those. Personally, I'm definitely keen to see what UPF will do in future. Do also check out my socials at NoGoodFigures for more figure stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.